I live in Brookshire since 1973. I've been here with my mom. Starting in 98, she got sick with Alzheimer's, and I started taking care of her since then, all the way up until 2013. That's when she passed away.
Well, I met him because he sells watermelons, and so that's how I met him. And I see him walk in the neighborhood all the time. He goes for a daily walk. I had purchased a watermelon from Mr. Henderson, but I didn't have cash. So I told him, I said, hey, I'll catch up with you and give you the money. So when I parked and I got out, I immediately noticed that the windows were broke out. So as I approached the front door, you couldn't even get on the porch. And so I noticed that the front door, it was such a gap in it that it wasn't closing. And so I said, well, maybe he goes around on the side of the house. So I went around on the side of the house, and it was the same thing. And it was misting. It was really cold that morning. And I was just like, my God, how is he living in this house like this?
After taking care of Mama and everything, so it left me, after she died, it left me here. And so with the little money that I get from the government, nothing. So I couldn't do too much. Through the years of storms and flooding and stuff, has got beat up. If we could afford it, we would have fixed it.
I said, I have to do something to help him. So I came back home and I called Ryan.
So, we've been at the hangar for 3 years, and two of our neighbors have been Mr. Henderson and Suzette, and so I've occasionally bought watermelons for Mr. Henderson. I'll see him at the post office selling watermelons, and we became friendly, but I've never been over here to his house. And Suzette reached out to me and she goes, Ryan, have you ever been over to Mr. Henderson's house? It's in pretty bad disrepair and it needs some help. Do you think anybody could help? So I just gave a call to Omar Garcia, the missions pastor at Kingsland.
Well, a few weeks ago, Ryan told me about the situation with Mr. Henderson here in Brookshire. The house has really deteriorated. He's been living without running water. So when he needs water, he goes out to the meter, turns the water on, fills up 5-gallon buckets and turns it off because there are so many leaks with the plumbing. He has no hot water. The house has mold. Nobody should have to live like that. I just knew we had to respond. We had to move in his direction and make a difference. When I let our folks know about Mr. Henderson and his need, we immediately had folks step up and say, we'll be there to help.
Omar called Ian about helping the guy, and Ian shot me some pictures. My heart just went out to him, and I came out and surveyed it with him. And I was sitting in my house at Christmas just thinking of what his Christmas was like this year, and the comforts that I have and the comforts that he didn't have. So I'll have a warm place in my heart after this is done.
He is so excited. He said, I have been praying for help. And we told him this morning, help is here. He won't have need of anything when we're done. We have folks working on furniture donations, on supplies for his kitchen, for his bath. We love doing things like this. It's a part of our culture at Kingsland, moving in the direction of people in need and making a difference.
This here have changed my life. Oh, I was so happy, I didn't thought that many people care. It made me just feel so happy to see that, because when you're down and out, you got different thoughts in your head, but when you meet good people and you see these people are really real about what they do and say, the world was full of people like those people, everybody, it would be a better world. It would be so good. Everybody would be happy. It would be like a heaven.
You never know what your neighbors are going through. Sometimes you have to ask. People smile and they act like everything is okay, but it's really not. It just makes me really happy, that there's some place in the community that we could turn to help someone.
One of the exciting things about collaborating with a hangar is that, and meeting needs together, is it lets this community know that you haven't been forgotten. God is aware of your needs. God is writing an amazing story through the ministry of the hangar, a location where God's love is just streaming out into this community and touching it and making a difference.
It totally changed my life to see that there's so many good people that Father God have put into my life to show me that it is better people in life, that I didn't know and haven't never experienced. It's almost made me want to cry.